way that we're going to be trading this player, that player. I do think it's interesting that people just automatically reject things and not listen to what management is saying. For example, management has said that they are going to look to make a trade to make this team better. That is what they've said. They have also said there are certain players that they've been disappointed in. They were disappointed in this season. And it's one thing about Rutherford and Allvin is that these guys don't have a problem moving players to fix problems. And that is just a fact. I mean, has anyone traded more people than Jim Rutherford? I don't know. I don't know. But that's why I'm going to start this series on Canucks Trade Talks. We're going to get into a whole bunch of trades throughout the summer and just talking about the season because they are not just looking for the draft, but they are looking to make a move and maybe multiple moves. And they've said that multiple times. And so that's why I'm making this series. It has nothing to do with I don't like this player, I don't like that player. It all has to do with let's try to figure out a way not only to keep Quinn Hughes, but to make the playoffs, be a cup contender, and at least win our first Stanley Cup, if not multiple cups. That is the goal of this franchise. Rutherford and Allvin did not take this job to do a rebuild. I'm telling you that right now. That's not why they were hired. That's not what they want to do. Do you think that Rutherford at, why is he 78 years old? If I'm wrong about his age, please post it in the comments here. But do you think for 1 second at his age, you're thinking, oh, I want to go through a 5 to 10 year rebuild? No, not at all. So we're going to be talking about trades, and I'm going to try to make it a realistic and honest as best as I can trades. And so tonight I'm starting with the most controversial person, absolutely, and that is Mr. Elias Pettersson. And that's exactly where we're going to start. That's exactly where we're going to start, everyone. This is going to be money, absolutely money on the dot, because this is crazy to think about. I know that for many of you, especially the PD police out there, you're going to not like this video just because we're having the conversation. Am I going to say that that is going to happen? I'm not sure. Should they trade EP40? Possibly. It all depends on what you get in return. So let's just talk about it tonight. I know a lot of you want to talk about all kinds of things, other things that are going on in Canucks land. We're just going to talk about trades tonight. That is going to be the number one thing we're going to talk about. So tonight we're just focusing on EP40 trades. Maybe it's not in the Canucks' best interest to trade EP40, but maybe it just is. So we're going to look at it right now. Just a reminder, everyone, that like I've said, the Canucks have been open to trading EP40 in the past. We almost made a deal with Carolina in the past. By the way, I'm pumped. I have Jordan from Canucks Uncensored coming on the podcast to talk about that in just a few minutes. And then also, they said there were so many rumors when JT Miller went that they might not be done trading Miller and Pettersson. I've made videos on that as well. So I'm just listening to what I'm hearing in the market. I'm listening to what Canucks insiders are saying. I'm listening to what the general manager and the Canucks president of hockey operations is saying. So I don't feel like this is far-fetched. There would be a mixer. I'm telling you right now, a lot of you think that if EP40 gets traded, I'm going to like dance in the streets. It depends what we get back. If we get a hosed in the deal like we did with JT Miller, I will not be happy about that. So, but I believe that they are still open to trading EP40 before July 1st, before his no movement clause kicks in, everyone. That is a realistic possibility, and I think it's on the table. So let's talk about it. I've been saying let's talk about it for now. I want you to know, I've said this many, many times. There are some players, and I don't know if these are realistic because I don't think that other teams would do this, but there are players I would trade EP40 right now in a heartbeat. If any of these teams came and said, we will offer you this guy for EP40, I'd be like, push accept. Now, I'm not the general manager, and some of you are saying, thank God that I'm not the general manager, but without hesitation, if Chicago offered us Connor Bedard, hit the accept button. Don't walk, run. Hit the button or say, yes, absolutely, we will do that. Celebrini, yes, absolutely. I think he's going to have a bright future in there. Brady Tkachuk, I would do that in a heartbeat. I wouldn't even think twice about it, everyone, because I believe that guys like Brady Tkachuk are playoff type players who produce, who make a difference. And I mean, I don't think their team's good enough yet. That's why they lost to Toronto, but they're on their way. I don't think Ottawa, San Jose, or Chicago would offer them because EP40's value is too low. And even if it was still high, none of them would do these deals. But let's remind ourselves that Canucks center, and they also say left winger, he rarely plays left wing. Elias Pettersson, number 40, he's 26 years old and makes $11.6 million average annual salary for the cap hit for the next 7 more years, which completes in 2023. So my first team that I want to talk to you about is, could we trade EP40 to Detroit for Dylan Larkin? Now, some of you are like, are you crazy? Pettersson is 100-point player. He's 100-point player. Why in the world would you trade for Dylan Larkin? Because maybe, just maybe, EP40 is no longer 100-point player. Man, I was so shocked when Rutherford and Alvin were talking about how frustrated they were with Pettersson this season and the last 16 months, really, that he is not a complete player. And I thought they were talking about his offense. Then they said his offense, he's going to get his points. He only got 45 points. People are calling EP 11.6, EP 40. Now people like myself are calling EP 45 because he only scored 45 points this season. 45 points. Maybe this is a good deal. Now, why would this be a good deal? Let me just show you something. Dylan Larkin is 28 years old. He's a left-handed shot centerman as well. He makes $8.7 million AAV until 2023. That is a much better deal. He's been playing on a terrible team. And the only thing is, if you look at Larkin's numbers, okay? Look at Larkin's numbers. The last 4 seasons, okay? Yeah, I'm just going to bring this up so you can see it, so that you guys don't you're like, no, you're not being truthful, okay? And I got to get going here because I'm bringing on Jordan in just a second. So look at his career so far, okay? And we're just going to go here to let's go 2021, okay? 71 games, 31 goals, 38 points, or 38 assists, 69 points. The next season, he's almost a point per game guy. He gets 79 points. He'll get 32 goals again. Like, he's a 30-goal scorer every single year, okay? Every single year. For 4 years in a row. Sorry, let's just use that. For 4 years in a row. Full seasons. Like, look, he was 30. He's been a 30-goal scorer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years in his career. Okay, so 69 points, 79 points, 69 points in only 68 games, and 82 points in 70 games this year. Still scored 30 goals on a garbage Detroit Red Wings team. Let's let's just bring up, just for fun, everyone, just for fun, let's just bring up Elias Pettersson's numbers, okay? Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's have some fun, everyone. How do I get to this? Team, roster, okay? Now must be stats somewhere here, right? Can I just find Elias Pettersson and go from there? Yep, I can. Let's just dive into him. Okay? Let's just look at his career stats. He scored 32, 39, 34, and 15. 15. Now, he only played 64 games, okay? But even if you get there, he's still not scoring 30. So this guy in the past at 102, 89, but he's not like, what are we going to get in the future? You think that he's going to be 102, 89 on this roster? I doubt it, but maybe he is. And I hope he is, because we need him. We need him. The amount of money he makes is absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous, doesn't it? It's absolutely nuts. Okay. The next one is possibly, and I'm not saying straight up, I don't even know what, there would have to be a package deal here for Detroit, okay? But that is $2 million in savings, just under $2 million in savings. I like that. There's not as much pressure. I think Dylan Larkin on Vancouver would play a lot better. What about trading EP40 to the New York Islanders? Just landed the first overall pick. We're not getting that pick. They're picking Schaefer or Misha, and they're going to be happy as clams. If they pick Schaefer, maybe there's a Dobson deal. Maybe it's Dobson and who's the other guy? There's someone they have there. Nelson. Is it Danny Nelson? Not Brock. He's no longer there. Danny Nelson is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Just looking there right now. A lot of people want Matthew Barzal, 27 years old, can play left or right wing, but he's a right-handed shot centerman, making $9.15 million until 2031. I'm very happy with that in return. Maybe they'll be looking for something like that. You've got Misha, Horvat, Pettersson down the middle. Maybe that's what they would be interested in. Dobson, only 25 years old. I'd love to see him in a Canucks uniform. Let's just see where that is regarding. Just looking at the prospects, there's someone there. There's somebody there that's I'm sure it's Danny Nelson. Danny Nelson. So we'll see. We'll see. Anyways, the point being is maybe they would be interested in a deal like this. By the way, these videos are going to involve, all the trade videos are going to include they're going to include reports, rumors, and just things that we can talk about, maybe possible ones. Okay, this is what we're going to be talking about. Okay, and then we're going to do EP. Okay, this is the one that I want to talk about as well. This is the one. I mean, you guys are putting comments in here right now, but EP40 to New Jersey for a package that includes the Hughes brothers. I'm like all over that, like a fat kid on a Smartie. Just saying, okay? So you got Van said, this is what I've suggested. Other people have much more than this. Jack and Luke Hughes to Vancouver for EP40, Vilander, Höglander, and Marcus Pettersson, a first-round pick, which would be this year's. I would do that deal in a heartbeat. I think most Canuck fans would. I don't know if the New Jersey Devils would do that. But I think that there is an opportunity here. There's an opportunity here to at least make an attempt and try to pull off a deal like this. What would it cost to get Jack and Luke Hughes? It would be a lot. I get it. I remember watching Canucks Uncensored guys. They had talked about this, and there was even more. It's 2 first-round picks. It was insane. And they were like, no, you can't do that. I get it. But what would you trade EP40 for? Now, I do want to bring this last one up, and this is where we're going to bring on Canucks Uncensored for this. Trade EP40 to Carolina. I still think the Carolina Hurricanes are very interested in EP40. We almost made a deal with them already. I want to bring this up, okay? This is what was rumored, and I made a video on it when it first happened, right before he signed with us. And Canucks Uncensored made this beautiful graphic, okay? That the Canucks would receive Nashis, Kotkaniemi, Scott Morrow, and a first-round pick for Elias Pettersson. That is what was rumored to happen. It's just come out again. And Aquilini has blocked this. This is what the rumor is saying. I believe this is more than a rumor. I believe that this was a true thing, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I haven't talked to anyone in Canucks management, but Canucks Uncensored posted this. My friends were sending this to me saying, have you seen this? What do you think? And I'm like, I know those guys. So if you're a PD police, you better be so thankful for Aquilini. I'm just telling you right now, you should be so thankful. You should not say a bad word about Aquilini for the rest of your life, because that guy blocked that trade. EP40 was already out the door. So all the people are like, no, this is not possible. This is ridiculous, Trev. It's not. He was there. And I wonder if that's why Tocchet left, because we traded the guy he wanted to keep in JT Miller, and he wanted, the rumors are saying that he wanted to make this deal and get rid of Pettersson. That is wild. Think about that for a minute. Speaking of which, let's get Canucks Uncensored on right now. Whoa, Winton.
Whoa, what's going on?
I thought it was going to be Jordan. I got the smarter one of the two. Great. Let's go. Don't tell Jordan that, okay? I'm just kidding. I love you both. You guys have done incredible work. And tonight, I just want to talk about Canucks trade talks and the whole Elias Pettersson deal. So you guys made this graphic. You posted it everywhere. You've been getting a ton of flack for it and a ton of support. What do you think about that trade offer that they did?
I personally would have taken that in a heartbeat. That there and then, like, don't get me wrong, Elias Pettersson had 87 points, and then he had 102, and then going into that trade deadline, going into the All-Star break closer to the trade deadline, he was on pace for another 100 points. Right? He was on pace. And players like that.
Look at these guys. You got Japan 4 in the background. You got Jordan in the background. What are you dropping deals at like 10 o'clock at night selling properties, Jordan? What's going on?
Shady business.
Let's go. This is the all-star team right here. This looks like the Naslin, Bertuzzi, Morrison right there. Right in front of us.
This is awesome.
Oh man.
So sick. Naslin, Bertuzzi is the West Coast of Express of uncensored Canucks commentary.
Yes.
Let's go. That's what I want to hear. And you know, there's no one better than Steve. He'll tell you what it's really like right there. I'll tell you. You want to talk about uncensored? That's our man right there. Okay, so we're talking about the Pettersson trade, right, with Carolina, and let's dive into it. So, what did you would have taken that deal? I would have taken that deal, but Aquilini he axed it, right?
Yeah, he axed it, and I think at that time for Pettersson, that's pretty much elite Pettersson right there, getting pretty much 87, 102, and then on pace for another 100. Before he signed that mega deal, before he was threatened to be traded to Carolina. Like, I think a lot of people shouldn't sell EP40 short at that time. That's superstar points right there.
Yeah.
And a first, that's a late first. So that, fine. Right? That's a late first. I'm just talking about value. It's a late first. Kotkaniemi at that time, and maybe right now still, hindsight's 2020, it's been a cap dump, right? With potential. And then you had Natchez with the 170-point season, but he was averaging 40 to 50 points. And to trade those three for a superstar, it wasn't enough, which is why I had Morrow in there, which was speculated to be a sweetener, which is why I had that in the graphic. And that was the package that I heard. But you know, with all Knicks trades or things like that, you won't ever know the exact package either way. But that deal, I think anyone would have taken it, and I'm just so mad at ownership. It was the last straw. That part of the video was just talking about that. That's the last straw for me. Like, just watching this team for so long, seeing us hold on to players and then they no longer have any value and you get rid of them for nothing. We've seen that over the years. And I just had enough, and I wanted to put that out there.
I think we've all had enough.
We've all had enough, he says.
Yeah.
Preach it. Okay. So here's the deal. If that trade happened, I want to show you what I believe our lines would have looked like going into the rest of this season. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I could be a little off on these, but you tell me. Look at this. Okay. Just gonna take over our whole screen here. So Suter, Miller, Natchez.
Yeah.
On the first line, DeBrusk, Kotkaniemi, Besser. Then you have Joshua, Bluger, Garland. I just love that line. Just put them together. And then Höglander, Ratu, and Sherwood. Is this line a playoff team lineup?
I think so. I think it's a lot better than what we have now. But Miller, like, of course, no one can doubt, like, no one can say or not say how long Miller can be productive for. But if you're talking about playoffs the next 2-3 years, I think this lineup can make it. And you can even add to this a lot better than what we can add to now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I just realized what that was. That's what should have happened.
Well, isn't that beautiful?
It's beautiful. It's gorgeous.
That
top line. Right. That top line, my goodness.
That's gorgeous. And somewhere else that I looked up was, I know hindsight's 2020. Lindholm's not doing that well, but maybe Lindholm is still a Canuck. And you add that to the lineup.
I saw that too. I was going to add him, but then I was like, I was looking, I'm like, okay, but how do you afford all of it? Because Natchez made, I don't know what he's making, I forget, but you know what I mean? There's that piece to it. So I was getting greedy and putting Lindholm in there.
Yes.
But if that happened, then you would have to move out different money, and that's fine. I have no problem. Where is he at now? He's Colorado, right? So I think he's making a decent amount of coin. It is 6.5. So it's Brock Besser money. It's Brock Besser money. Just a little bit cheaper. Yeah. Okay, but here's what the defense would have looked like, though. I've got it all ready to go. So it'd be Hughes, Hronek, EP25, Myers, Forbert, and Soucy. That's not as great as what we have now. But
not as great. But
still got Lankinen, still got Demko, and we're off to the races. Does this defensive lineup still be able to compete because we didn't land Marcus Pettersson and we don't have Mancini on here?
That's a great question.
That's a good question. I like the with the trade, the Miller one definitely is better forward group, but the defensive group, must say right now, is better. The current teams, that's definitely the case. But I still think that the Miller, like with Miller on the team, with what you put together, that's a stronger lineup overall. I still believe that. I think that Miller lineup would make the playoffs more often than what we have now. Yeah, there's more certainty. More certainty with Miller, right? More certainty.
For sure. And so let's bring up Carolina's contracts here, okay?
Yeah.
And if we could pull off, I still think Carolina is the team that wants Pettersson the most. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is where I'm sitting here going, okay, what could they do? I know Kotkaniemi seems to be the guy they want to move. Now, by the way, Kotkaniemi, if I'm watching the playoffs properly, he's a second line center right now for this team.
Yeah.
He literally is in between Taylor Hall and Stankoven in the playoffs. This is insane. And everyone's like, nobody wants Kotkaniemi. His contract is peanuts compared to EP40, right?
It is peanuts.
I mean, he hasn't had good production. Let's be honest about that. But this is the deal. Like, so can we still get a deal that's similar to that last one? Even if we could pull off a first rounder, Kotkaniemi, and what would you like? Pick your poison here. Like Scott Morrow, I like that you added him. I don't know.
I think that's what we're missing right now. Still. But do you remember the most recent PD trade where it got blocked, where Rantanen went the other way instead, where Carolina got Rantanen, or they made a trade. Remember, Canucks were supposed to get Natchez, but we couldn't. And Colorado chose Rantanen instead, or not Colorado. Carolina chose Rantanen instead. Or anyways, I don't even know what I'm saying right now. Just the Canucks, the value for Pettersson at the time was like, I think it was like Pettersson and a prospect for Natchez and a second. I think that's what PD's value dropped all the way down to because of what happened. And then Rantanen just got traded instead. And then Natchez went to Colorado instead.
Yeah, that's wild. To save cap money, I would consider it. If Pettersson is not going to be at like a 90 to 100 point player, I think this is what you have to consider. But if he is the 90 to 100 point player and bounces back, but here's my problem, Whitten, is what guy who just signs an $11.6 million contract for 8 years doesn't come to training camp ready, is not ready for the NHL season? What does that say about the person of Elias Pettersson? Some would say he was injured. The Canucks are not saying that. He's saying that. And so I have major concerns that your highest paid player in your league's or your team's history, your franchise's history, isn't coming to training camp ready.
That's absolutely insane. And there's a reason why Miller was mad at him at the beginning of this year, right? Reports came out. Why is this guy out of shape? He's getting paid 11.6. He should be showing everybody on the team how to lead by example. And for the fact that Tocchet has been, beating that drum for a long time, not just this injured stuff or the time that he's been injured, even when he was super productive, he's been saying like, hey, I need you to practice, do whatever. Even goes back to why, remember when Pettersson was so good and everyone's like, oh, how come we don't give Pettersson the captaincy? How come we don't give him the captaincy? People know things. Captains lead by example. They lead by example. Why do you think Hughes was up there? Hughes leads by example.
You don't mind. Trev, you need to address the PD police right now. Yes, I think this is the time.
Come out.
You're trying to get me canceled.
He's trying to get him canceled.
I've already been very bold on what my opinions have been. I have liked PD in the past, but when I look at him and I look at the way he plays, I don't think he's a playoff guy. I don't think he's going to get us to a cup. I could be wrong, but what I've seen by all of his stuff, it's like, is he a playoff player? Is he going to produce in the playoffs? he does not produce at an elite level like the other guys do, the McKinnons, the McDavids, the Draisaitl's, the Kucherovs. He's not in the same category, even though he's getting paid as much or more.
Well,
right?
Linden was so right. If you heard what Linden said. Hey,
Yeah, you tell him, because I've heard this. I was going to bring it up tonight, but you go ahead.
Linden was interviewed about Pettersson and just straight up just said, if you're not producing, you got to get in the fight. Got to show the heart. He's not getting in the fight. Right? That's why. And the thing before he even said that, I've been saying this for the longest time. I've said it before. If you're in a slump, you still have to look at least snake bit, look dangerous. Not even looking like that. Not even close. That's crazy.
He is a shell of his former self.
Yeah. It's not the same. Oh, look at that. Aquilini needs to just stop for the sake of the team. Yes.
I know there's a lot of Aquilini hate. Now Green does say a different like this could be real. JT caused a mess, and therapy takes time. Clean slate now. No Miller, no Tocchet. It's up to PD to produce next year. 100%. Like that is the plan right now. That is the plan right now. And Green believes in Pettersson, and I hope you're right, Green. But I'm just saying, I wouldn't be surprised if Tocchet walked, because it's like I'm just not happy with the direction of this team. There's nothing wrong. I have no problem that Tocchet walked. I personally like, dang, that sucks. Jack Adams, winner, best coach in the NHL, and he walks, and it's like, oh, that hurts. We can replace coaches, okay?
Yes,
but it's like, I'm worried. He's like, I'm looking at this team and I can't see the direction, and that's with Petey at the helm. So this is the plan, and this is the plan that Aquilini believes in, and he pays the bills.
Yeah, that's pretty much
he pays the bills, and he's the one who chose this, right? And yeah. So there we go.
The thing is,
yeah, all the pressure is on Petey now, right?
There's a lot of pressure on him. There's also still a lot of pressure on management and maybe the owner. What are you going to do before July 1st? Are you going to take the chance?
Yeah.
You don't know. What are we going to do?
Yeah. And this argument that JT hurt EP40's feelings, and then they had, I'm not really sure. I think that's what happened. That's what it sounds like it happened. I like Green's thing that JT affected more than just PD. I would say probably that it could be a very true statement. I'm just not sure. But at the end of the day, Miller's like, I just can't. We had all this potential walking into the season, and you didn't show up in shape. You weren't ready to play. And they were like, we're trying to make the playoffs here, and our highest paid player is not even coming close to what he needed to do. He's half of the player he was in the last 2 seasons. And it's like, and I'm not blaming the Canucks for not making the playoffs because Pettersson struggled, but I'm telling you, that's a major reason. It's a major reason. Now, the rift can be a major reason as well. Mm-hmm. The injuries, I think, were even higher. Everyone who was a good player on this team got injured. And the Demko injury is a major thing as well. So I understand that, but but can we just admit that the Pettersson problem of him not showing up and not producing was a major part of this team not making the playoffs?
Yeah, major part. It's 11.6 got to do more. Well, we've already said, too much about that, right? When you have a lot of injuries and you're in 11.6 is in the lineup, it's gonna at least keep you afloat. That's what the other good teams do when they have injuries.
Yeah. And then a lot of people are talking about PD is going to bounce back next year, which is fine if he does. If he doesn't, I'm telling you right now, my channel, your channel is going to lose their minds. We're going to do Pettersson rants almost every night of the week, right? Because it's just unacceptable. It's unacceptable. And then what they want to do is say, well, look at the guys he played with. You know, it's like, okay, he had an awesome year with Kuzmenko. Guess what? Kuzmenko's gone.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe, do they bring Kuzmenko back? I don't think LA lets him go, personally. But that's what I'm saying here. Like, what we're gonna say, oh, he played with Mikheyev, he was terrible, his wingers were terrible. Mikheyev had a good year this year in Chicago. So maybe Pettersson's the problem, and it's not Mikheyev, and it's not Kuzmenko, and it's not maybe people can't play with Petey.
Yeah, Miller. Did you ever hear Miller having a rotating door wingers and can produce?
No.
He makes them better. Miller makes other people better, right? And Petey for a while made Lafferty the player of the month for the Canucks for that 1 month, and then that disappeared. And then slowly you start blaming people. Kuzmenko's gone. Start blaming people. Oh, Mikheyev's gone. And then all of a sudden the playoffs come around. Oh, he doesn't have anybody good to play with.
Yeah,
crazy.
Now, when Marcus is here and he said, never going to happen. They're never going to trade EP40. Well, Marcus, they were this close to trading him already. There's also rumors that they almost traded him twice. So this idea, okay, you might say never going to happen because Aquilini is like, he's just too stubborn and said, we're not trading him. But I wish we did. If that was the deal that you guys had posted, I would have done that deal in a heartbeat. Hindsight 2020 would have been a great trade for us.
Yeah. Crazy. Absolutely insane.
JT left on a personal leave. That was the problem. If you lose your top 3 players due to personal reasons, yeah, of course. I mean, he was losing his mind. He was realizing he was out of control. He was like, I need some time to. And he came back and it's like, it's not getting any better. So he's like, you know what? I'm open to a deal. So, it's tragic to think where we are last year and where we are this year and where we're heading this summer. Because on your guys' channel, I watch your guys' content all the time. By the way, everyone hit a like and subscribe to Canucks Uncensored. They do great work. You guys are talking about like, what does this team look like going forward, and how do you add 3 forwards and at least 1 or 2 centermen? That's going to be a tall task. But they said they're gonna trade for one. They're gonna make a trade. That's why I'm starting this video series on trades.
Yeah. So
Line Change says EP40 shows up in shape. JT PD riff doesn't happen. Right, Tyler? I think that's it's interesting. Green says first year we ever heard about Petey coming out of shape, so maybe there was a reason. Maybe there was a reason. Maybe. But the only person that says that EP40 was hurt is Elias Pettersson. The team does not talk about it.
Yeah.
Oh. Hard to believe we almost made the conference final last year, and look at where we are now. Steve.
Yeah.
Does he not just nail that comment?
100%. When Steve, when I see your message on the screen, the first thing I can think of is that All-Star game photo of all the All-Stars we had going to the All-Star game, including the newly acquired Lindholm. And I look at that, I'm like, it's pretty much just Hughes now. Pretty much, right? If Besser's gone, that's pretty much it. And Petey, you don't know. So like, how far it's fallen in just 1 year. Unbelievable.
16 months for him, though. No, let's do 14 months for Pettersson. Okay, Hands, I love the optimism. So I'm going to go with you here. Petey's going to light it up next season. I think a lot of people make a lot of money on the word hope. Mm-hmm. Every team sells season tickets because of the word hope. I want to see it happen. So if they trade Petey, hope they just sell everything. So it's like trade Pettersson and blow up the whole team. What do you think about that, Whitten?
So when you say blow up the whole team, do you mean that Hughes is gone too?
Well, I guess so. They just sell everything, he said. So trade them all, rebuild the whole thing. It all depends on what we get back, right?
Yeah.
Like obviously the Natchez deal is off the table because Natchez is gone.
Yeah.
But what could we pull off from Carolina that would be great? I think they're still there. Stan Colvin, If Stan Coven's coming back, that would be awesome.
Would you take because Petey's value is not great, as you know. Would you do Stan Coven and a second? No. We don't retain Pettersson's contract.
Yes. If we don't retain his contract, yes, because then you can take that money and turn it around and use it, and they know how to get guys to come and just overpay a little bit. You don't have to overpay like you did with some of these guys. I don't know. I think you could get Kotkaniemi, Stan Coven, and a second, and I would just call it a deal. Done deal. A lot of people don't like Kotkaniemi, but I think he's fine. He's not great, but he helps us down the middle, right?
Yeah.
Like right now, they're playing together, literally on the same line. That would be awesome. But I don't think they're going to do that deal. There are so many trades that almost happened. For example, this Rantanen deal, he gets traded to Carolina, then he's not going to re-sign there. They trade him again before the deadline. The biggest trade rumor was Rantanen to Toronto for Marner, and Marner called it off because he has a no trade clause, no movement clause, and he vetoed the deal. Think about that. If Toronto right now had Rantanen on their team, that's how wild. And people are like, no, they would never do that. They definitely would do that. So, Jordan, I see you. Okay. So Callum says that EP40 reminds him of Fat Elvis. Okay. That's out there.
Out of shape.
Well, I don't really understand why. Because he came out of shape? I don't know. Michael says if they trade EP40, he will bounce back and somehow magically he will start giving. Yeah, he'll start carrying again. I don't know if that's true. Maybe.
Yeah, the people that think that PD can bounce back, they're afraid that if PD gets traded, they pull like a Reinhardt or an Eichel, where they just turn it around and win cups.
Yeah, but he's not that kind of player.
Well, when PD was really good, the production was at least on that level.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair. That's fair. Okay, 100%. The only way PD bounces back if they trade him and he finally gets angry. Oh, what about Dell? He could put on 10 more pounds of muscle. Yeah, that would. Everyone said that for the last 4 years.
Does that stop him from falling down?
I don't know. Well, that's why they call him Bambi, right?
Yeah.
Regular season is fine, but playing in playoffs is all that matters. I mean, you need to get to the playoffs for sure. We are close this year with all the mess. We were still close. That's why I'm not at the spot where I'm like, blow it up. Let's rebuild this thing. I do still think there's an opportunity that we have here. Like, what if we grabbed a center and Hedl moved to the wing and use that speed on the wing? I would love to see them do that.
Oh, speaking of Hedl, did you hear about the Canucks almost flipping Hedl at the deadline, and they wanted to flip him for Josh Norris, and we just came up short?
Wow.
Like, I think the chat would be able to back it up. That's exactly what came out recently. That's insane. I would have loved Norris. If they flipped Hedl and got us Norris, that would have been amazing.
Well, and Norris is Hughes' buddy, right?
Yep.
So,
yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, 10 more pounds of muscle would overpower his weakness.
Oh, no.
Oh, man. There's some hate in the comments here. Oh, no, for sure, Hans, you're right. I'm a huge Miller fan. I do not apologize for that. He is gone. I totally understand. It. I get that you think I need to get over it. What I can't get over is how bad Pettersson was for 14 months. That's what I can't get over. I am missing Zadorov. I am missing Miller. It is true. I'm not apologizing for that. But in saying that, Hans, I just don't believe that he's going to bounce back like everyone else thinks he's going to bounce back. Yeah. Management's upset at him. Players were upset at him. He's upset at himself, right? So, okay, and here's another one. We have one of the worst forward groups in the NHL. Can't put it all in one guy. We can agree on that, right? Mm-hmm. It's a collective. This season had way too much. Yeah, going on to judge anyone properly. I think that's a fair comment.
Very fair.
But I think he contributed to it.
He did. We have like 3 third lines, right?
Yeah. Okay, Bing Tang Warriors here. PD is definitely a problem. Turned up to preseason, overweight and out of shape, full of his own importance. Miller tried giving him a taste of reality. Yeah, it's. I know people are frustrated. I understand. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Jeevan does not believe in Rutherford or Alvin that they're going to make this team. They're going to make this team worse after July 1st. What are your thoughts on that?
I just don't see a way out. The only way out I see is if they trade EP40's contract and get something for that, because we have $14 million of cap space coming up for free agency. If by any miracle Besser and Suter come back, you're running back the same team. You resign one of those guys, you still need to fill 2 or 3 spots. Where's the money coming from to get those 3 forwards? Right? That's why I think it's almost you need to trade PD at this point to get that cap space to get more players. That's what I think.
Yeah. Steve says, is there a chance we get Horvat back for Pettersson in a package deal? I'm with Dell. I think that Horvat ship has sailed. I don't think he wants to come back. I don't think they're going to move Horvat back to Vancouver, but I feel like the Canucks fans have a love affair of Horvat. What are your thoughts, Witten, on Horvat and not only his time in Vancouver, but like, would you want him back as a Canucks fan?
Love the player, love the moments, but I also think that ship has sailed. It's time for a different direction.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. Steven says, would you trade Vilander and our 2025 first for Mason McTavish?
No, I wouldn't.
I don't think I've seen enough from Mason McTavish to do that deal.
This first and Tom Willander, that's something I would give up for a top 6 center. That's something I would, because that's around the cost. Right? Like that's the cost.
Like even on their team right now, he's a second line center. Leo Carlson's already pushed him out of the top center position.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't do that. You're basically giving up 2 first-round picks to get Mason McTavish, and I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. No, me.
Marcus just said he just added Canucks Uncentered. That's awesome. That's awesome.
So much,
Everyone
Marcus.
keep doing that.
Thank you so much.
Japan 4 is in the building, literally in the building. And he says, we need Larkin if we keep EP40. And I agree with that statement. I actually started the show off with the Detroit one about EP40 for Larkin. I like that deal a lot, actually, because I want stability. I want a guy who's going to produce. He's on a bad team and he's still producing. I like that a lot, personally. But you're saying keep EP40 and get Larkin. I like that. I like that idea.
That it is actually possible for us to do that. That's not out of the realm of possibility.
But what do we have to give up to get a guy like Larkin? If you don't have to give up EP40, what are we moving to them that they're going to be? Because he's making 8.7. Why does Detroit want to move Larkin?
Yeah. I don't think Detroit wants to move him. I think it's more of Larkin is unhappy with the direction of the Detroit Red Wings, and he might ask for a trade. So therefore, that trade might happen based on that merit. And usually when players want out, right, the value maybe it's lower.
Yeah.
Especially if they flex their,
and that's why, like Callum's comment here is we can get a real center as good or better than Bambi for insurance. This is what Japan for saying Larkin and EP40. That might be really hopeful, right?
Yeah.
EP40 for Taylor Hall and Stankoven. That's tempting.
it's tempting because that gives you 2 top 6 right there. I mean, Hall's a little bit older, but
no, I think he's more than a little bit older. He is 33. Actually, it's not too bad, but he's making $6 million this year. Next year, he's down to 3.1. Wow, what a deal!
Yeah,
for his last 3 years, so he's going to be 36 years old.
Yeah,
when he's making 3.1. That's actually not a bad move.
It's not a bad move. I actually like this suggestion. It's not bad, especially if you don't have to retain. It's not bad. That's the key piece. Are you retaining or not, right? So
yeah. Martin says, I would look at players who perform in the playoffs whose contracts are up. EP40 has not done anything in playoffs. Well, he did well in the bubble playoffs. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I can't say he hasn't done anything, but he had struggled. I think that we would have beat Edmonton if he played better in that series.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of guys are going to push back and say you can't blame one guy. And it's like, no, you can't. But when your best players aren't playing their best, like Hughes was playing great. Miller was playing great, but we needed EP40. You just can't have those two guys and expect we needed a third guy.
Yeah. Agreed.
PD got lots of money July 1st. Maybe he'll took away some of his focus in the I don't know. What was he doing? He bought more Fortnite skins. I'm not really sure what he did with his money. Steve wants a solid middle 6 player. That's fine. By the way, Abbotsford keeps winning. This is awesome. Everyone's excited. Russell from Nothing is Perfect this year.
Nothing is Perfect. It's in the house.
Go. Canucks logic says PD would win a cup if we trade him. I just don't see that logic either, Russ. I don't see it. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Steve. I hope 11.6 can buy a cure for tendonitis of the body.
Oh, man.
Jeevan speaking my love language. We need Big Z back. Yeah, right?
Big Z is what we're missing right now. He'd be huge on this team right now, I'm telling you.
I know. Oh, dude, you should see the comments that I get when I made a comparison that I'd rather have Zadorov than Marcus Pettersson. I mean, people wanted my head. They were crazy out there. I'm like, listen, we're talking about hockey, people, and they're going nuts. They're like, it was wild. And I just said, I really like his style of play. I thought he played his best hockey in Vancouver.
I would rather have Zadorov over Marcus Pettersson. No disrespect to the player.
Yeah, and it's not that I think that Marcus Pettersson is a bad player. I just think he's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's solid. I don't know if he's great. Okay. Rutherford just mentioned Miller like a week ago. It's just finally ending right now. Zarfi says, I miss JT more than when we lost Linden. Wow.
Oh.
Wow. That's a statement and a half.
That's a
I wonder if I did too.
For sure.
I don't know. The only bouncing I want to see is EP40 doing is bouncing out of this city. Woo! Woo! Big Kang Warrior says Miller and Garland are my favorite Canucks. I bought a Miller jersey after he left and a game puck and a necklace. Sweet. Yeah, I've got two. I bought a JT Miller jersey when he got traded too because they were blowing out $300 jerseys for $100. So it was awesome. Did the same thing.
Oh. I love heart and soul players.
Mark says that Forbert's jaw injury looks pretty serious from what I heard. Yeah, I keep hearing that it could be like ending his career, but I'm not sure.
He looked pretty good at the end of the season, like playing with us down the stretch. Pretty nice.
Yeah.
Too bad. Got injured.
Steve saying, this is awesome. I'm watching you guys on TV and live. I love it.
He's living the life.
So Calvin keeps coming into my comments, and I love this one. Trade PD and someone else to the Islanders for Simon Holmstrom and Noah Dobson. I actually like that idea a lot. I think Holzer. I had Gil Martin on my show. He is on Locked On Islanders, and they love Holmstrom there in New York. They do not want to move him. But man, now that you got the first overall pick, maybe you could. And because they were very interested in Pettersson.
Yeah.
What do you think about that deal?
I would do this. And the consensus I get from Canuck fans is that they think RD is good. But I think when you're making Stanley Cup teams, you want everything to almost all be great in every position. You add Dobson to that top 4, that is great. I would do that. And just like you said, that player looks amazing and on the Islanders right now. I would take that player. Cheat.
Steve, you have the best comments tonight, just saying. Okay, Green says Rossi is Stankoven with defense. Yeah, I'm going to do a video next week on. By the way, I'm going to be going away, and I'm having a bunch of videos that I pre-recorded that I'm going to be having next week. I'm going to be talking about Rossi here. Is that how you say his name, Rossi?
Is it Rossi or Rossi? I'm not sure. Rossi,
whatever it is.
Maybe. Yeah.
I'm going to be talking about him coming up. So, yeah. Steven says McTavish was the 3rd pick overall in the 2021 draft. You're totally right. Here's the thing. He's been a dud. It's like he was ranked high and hasn't played. He reminds me more of a gritty player than a talented, skilled player now. Like he just looks like he takes the goon role. Well, I shouldn't say goon, but gritty role. So, and he's trying to be the Matthew Tkachuk without having the skill set of Matthew Tkachuk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, Dell says that Larkin is injury prone. Well, maybe Pettersson is now still too. I don't know.
Yeah.
We don't have first picks. We don't have nothing to trade besides PD and get someone else like Larkin. I know this is the challenge we have, but I believe in Rutherford to make a deal.
I believe in Rutherford. I don't believe in Aquilini, but I believe in Rutherford. We have our next 2 first-round picks, and if you're gonna use them, you got to use them wisely, right? Those are a few bullets in the chambers we have, and if they don't work out, they're setting us at least 2 years back.
Yeah. Let's see what else. There's some good stuff here.
Oh yeah.
Colin says, hope we keep PD. I think he's going to be a beast next year. I think that's what everyone's hoping.
That's a good hope.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's good hope. I think it's a false hope, but I don't know if that is like best case scenario. He returns to a 90 to 100 point player. We make the playoffs. We make some noise. That would be beautiful.
Yes.
Okay. Canucks logic essentially means that the worst case scenario will happen because the hockey gods hate us. So if we trade PD, he would turn into Datsuk and win the cup. I just don't think he's Datsuk. But maybe he is.
No. Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Jeevan, I'm not a big fan of Marcus Pettersson either. But it is wild how many people are convinced that he's God's gift to defensive hockey, and I think he's good. I just don't think he was worth a first round pick.
Well, he's left-handed Tanev, right?
Right, a younger Tanev though.
Young, yep.
Without the injuries.
Yeah.
And making more money, but like the contract for Tanev is ridiculous,
dude. What? That's crazy.
Oh, Dreamer is talking my love language. Trade EP40 and a first rounder and MP3 to Chicago for Bedard. I do that. Yes. Murray, just subscribe to Uncensored.
Murray,
Let's
thank you.
Go.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Building the base one person at a time. Steven says not all first round picks are created equal.
Mm-hmm.
The theoretical value of the first OA pick is 1,000, and the 32nd OA is 132. That means okay. All right, that's complicated, but I hear what you're saying. Saying. Okay. All right. We should go soon here. Connor says selling low on a 100-point player with sulky votes is a horrible idea. Connor, you're right. If he plays at 100-point level and we make the playoffs. We win a cup. But if he doesn't, if he's a 70-point player at 11.6 million, it's not a bad trade.
Yeah, totally. I even have doubts that he can even get to 70 points.
Yeah,
I'm hope to be wrong though. Hope to be wrong though. But.
Yeah, me too. But nobody remembers that about my videos, Winton. Like honestly, like people just remember these things that we say, even like a critical thing, or we're just being, hey, he didn't play very well. They only remember that. They don't remember, hey, I wouldn't want to trade him if it was a bad trade for Vancouver, or I hope that we win a cup with Pettersson. Nobody remembers that, so I'm not really sure.
You're totally right.
Oh, Jordan has now entered the building. That's why you should read all comments before you post. Oh my goodness. I can't read them all. There's too many.
Sure.
Okay.
Oh no.
Some PD police are delusional. I'll say that. But maybe I'm delusional with the Zadorov and JT Miller love. Like honestly, maybe I'm out to lunch with that, but I don't think I am. I could be wrong, but I highly doubt it.
Everyone loves their players and has their beliefs in players differently, right? So
absolutely. Okay. So Winton,
yes.
Tell me, would you just say, hey, we just got to move EP40, or is it honestly depends? Like, where are you at when we're there? Like, I know it's been a frustrating 14 months. Okay.
Yeah.
But do you believe that this guy actually has a talent to turn it around, to make this team what it needs? Like, where are you? Like today, this is May 7th, 2025. We have just under 2 months before that no trade clause kicks in. Where are you at?
I think I'm more on trading him. Still, up to this point, yeah, there's definitely a chance that he can bounce back. There's a different coach. Maybe that'll give the players, more production. That usually happens. The new coach bump, that stuff does happen too. But more so on the fact, based on how much cap we have and how many roster spots we need to fill, and based on the fact that we want to keep Hughes, we need all the cap space we can get to get all the players that we need to get. And I think getting rid of PD would be the best thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Line change says that I'm not delusional. Thank you, Tyler. Connor, I get what you're saying. Okay. I get what you're saying. I'm not saying to sell the whole team. I'm just saying trade EP40 if we get the right deal. Yes. How could I doubt him? It's not even that. I don't think you're understanding, Connor, what I'm saying. Is if he's a 70-point player only, he's not worth 11.6. I don't see him as a playoff guy either. So those are two major things that I'm concerned about. That's why why would Rutherford and Alvin already have considered to move Pettersson if he's the 102-point player every season? They wouldn't move him.
No.
Right?
Exactly. They wouldn't. So, 70 is even a low bar for a player playing that much. We were just saying 70 points. You know what I'm saying? Like for a player that got this contract.
Yeah. We're hoping he gets more, of course. Oh, I love this one. Colin, I can't wait till PD shuts everyone up next year and scores 100 points again. I want to be wrong about this. I want him to score 100 points. I want him to be great.
Oh, me too. I will gladly shut up if he had 100 points.
Well, I criticize what I see, but I also give credit what I see. So I don't know, man. There's just I get what Ryan's saying here. He doesn't just fall off for no reason. So he's saying there's reasons, whether it's tendonitis, whether it's JT Miller, whether it's he had a bad birthday month. I don't know what the reason is. Mom didn't call him. I don't know.
There's no comparison for this. Like other players have dropped off, one-hit wonders. You've seen players have crazy dips in production, but we've never seen someone get like this, 189, and then and then drop off. So crazy like this. It can't even compare.
I would do this deal right here. Angelo, trade him to Buffalo for Powers and Tage Thompson. Sign me up.
That and run.
I would run to the phone and say yes.
Take that.
Oh, okay. Green says that he suffers from PTSD, PD supporter disorder. Yeah, Green, I love your transparency. That's awesome. Okay. If he doesn't come around, he's Louis Eriksson 2.0. It's just true. Yeah. Oh, Colin is misunderstood. Okay.
No, it's all good, Colin. Yeah.
Okay. So it's either the team looks promising this year with a possible come team with the new additions next year, or the team needs a rebuild. Yeah. I only think you need to rebuild if Quinn Hughes doesn't return. That's the only way. So.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I got to run, but I want to pump your guys' tires. Jordan, Witten, appreciate you guys. Love all your hard work. Thank you so much for making our Canucks community better. Thank you for pumping out great content. I know that you guys do raw, real, but truthful stuff. I love that kind of content. That's what I try to make myself. But I just want to thank you guys for grinding. It's not easy to be content creators. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. And thanks for having me on your show. I love that. That was fun.
No, thank you so much for doing that. That's amazing. Thank you for allowing me and Jordan to be on the show and just talk and do things. This is such an honor. So thank you so much.
And the only thing I feel really bad about is that Jordan got $100 ticket for not spent. When you went to go to pay for your parking?
Yeah.
Jordan forgot to do that. And next thing you know, he got $100 at Granville Island. So Jordan, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. We were all too excited to be together, okay?
We were. That was such a good day.
And Tyler knows he does content. The grind is real. It's difficult.
Line changed. Good job. Keep grinding it out, buddy.
And Ryan is saying that Petey's going to shut up us haters. First of all, I'm not a hater. I'm just honest.
Not haters. Just
but
speaking honest.
I know that I get labeled that all the time. Let's make this team a contender. I love it. Here's this one. Jordan, you're going to like this one. Kotkaniemi, he sucks. Okay. He's also in the playoffs as a second line center for a team that's up 1-0 in the second round. Just saying. I mean, give me that. Give me that. So, Dell says that I have to unlearn what you have learned. Grogu, I miss you. Okay,
that's awesome.
All right, Jordan. Any final thoughts?
No. Thanks for the time, Rev. We really appreciate you. Your content is amazing. I don't know how you're such a machine. You're such a machine, bro. Everyone has to recognize this guy puts in the effort, puts himself in front of everybody on basically a daily basis.
Yeah.
Right? That is not easy to do. It's not easy to do. We've been doing this for a year and we're like, holy cow, how does Rev do this?
Oh, what a grind and what we have to talk and all that stuff.
Yes, a lot. It is an absolute grind. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on behind the scenes to put out the content as we learn.
Oh.
Holy. Yeah. So, we'll be back next season.
We'll be back.
You'll be back July 1st.
We'll be back July 1st. We'll be back for draft day.
Yeah, I'm going to be there. Yeah, you're right. It's a lot of work, but it's fun. The thing though, Jordan, that's awesome about this team is the drama just never ends. The crazy cycle goes on. We have so much to talk about. I was making Canadian teams content for playoffs, and I enjoyed that. But the amount of Canucks content that's going on, it's wild. So it's and that's why people follow us. They want to watch Canucks content. But it really hurts to just watch the playoffs without our team in it. That I just hate it.
It sucks.
That's why I can't even. I don't barely follow it because we're not in.
Oh, it sucks. Everyone else is playing golf. Like the teams that are done, they're playing golf, and then they're like, "Yeah, we're looking forward to next season." Well, our off season is full of the drama, like you said. Can't escape it.
So, as we brought up on our show, Kemp, are you ready to not have playoffs for the next couple years?
Whoa. I'm not off the bandwagon yet here on that.
No, we're not saying anything about being off the bandwagon. We are just saying, hey, are we okay to not make the playoffs for the next few years?
Well, it depends. It depends. If we can get McKenna,
yes,
then I'm in.
I think everybody knows what needs to be done.
McKenna time.
And sometimes for good stuff to happen, we have to go through shit.
McKenna might keep Hughes.
I think
McKenna will start the franchise.
call me not a fan if I say this, but it is time. It is time for if it has to be this way, it has to be this way for a little while.
I'm not going to put any words in your mouth. You tell me straight out right here, RevTrev, Canucks Uncensored. Are you saying what I think you're saying, that we need to rebuild this franchise from the bottom up? Is that what you're saying? Are you saying Quinn Hughes needs to go? Is that what you're saying?
You use that word on your show. Oh, I can't.
Just asking the question.
Is that what you're saying, Jordan?
You have to be realistic. When such a shit show has gone on, when we have been such a laughing stock of this season, you know what I'm talking about, Rev? Okay, we have been such a laughing stock. We've been such a joke. This is time to rebuild.
I will go as far to say 2 years retool. Just commit to sucking for 2 years.
Yeah, just no playoffs.
And then
for the next little while. Deserve it.
Keep Hughes, get some draft picks. We need a couple years to build this out to be strong anyways.
Quinn Hughes is probably gone in 2 years. Let's get used to that fact.
No.
Okay.
No.
The way that this ship is going, I'm usually trying to be positive, okay, guys?
Yeah.
I usually do. But you're not showing me anything right now to be positive about. Okay.
Time Warrior doing on 57. He got no time for
yes,
that.
exactly. We understand. But you're not gonna get a cup the way that this team is run. Anytime soon.
Okay, so I actually like this comment. Okay,
Ooh,
Jordan,
Colin.
I hear what you're saying. I'm not there yet. First of all, we're not going to rebuild because of Aquilini and Rutherford and Elving did not sign up to rebuild this team.
No.
Good luck making the playoffs with this roster, with this team.
They also agree with that. They do not like this core, so they're revamping this core. Okay. I also believe wholeheartedly that Quinn Hughes is not leaving Vancouver and he's going to resign. I cannot believe that yet. Okay. In a year from now, I might have a different opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, I am going to believe that they are going to make improvements to this roster, that Quinn Hughes is going to stay, and everything's going to work out wonderfully for Vancouver. Will we win a cup? I hope so. Yeah. I do not think we have to rebuild this team. I feel like every time we struggle, it's like, let's rebuild it. But I understand that right now it's dark. It's one of the darkest days.
Yeah.
But there's always a glimmer. Quinn Hughes is the glimmer of hope.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Okay.
Like we always say, we hope you're right. We hope we won all of this.
Oh,
but
gotta be positive.
Okay? You don't trade players like McDavid. You don't trade players like Makar. You don't trade players like McKinnon. You don't trade players like Kucherov. Why would we trade Hughes unless he wants out? We would never do that. If he says, I want to go, then it's like, oh, my goodness. Then we're hoop. But I guess you're saying We're not. Hughes is going to go. If Hughes goes, then I'm with you. Rebuild it all.
Yeah. But let's hope that he doesn't. And you know what? I think we at least owe this management this offseason at the very least. This is the franchise altering offseason. This is the one where they need to do the best work. This is the one that sets things up. This is good. Hughes will stay. If it's not good, you're in trouble.
Hughes is staying.
Yes, I want that too.
This management has a lot to prove this offseason.
Yes,
okay?
and I think we owe it to them. I think we owe it to them.
Are you guys going to go into these Abbotsford playoff games?
I want to.
Well, why aren't you? You live close. You could already go. You could have went there tonight. Oh, you were coming on here, so that's why.
Yeah. Here we go.
Japan 4 was watching them earlier, but apparently we have a good Canucks team.
That's a good Canucks team.
Like an Abbotsford Canucks team?
Abbotsford Canucks team.
Yeah,
very
Abbotsford.
good.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's good hockey team?
Yes. Yeah.
He can't signing off on it. Have you seen it, Trev?
I haven't watched any of their games. I just keep hearing they keep winning. So
yeah.
And did you hear that the Whitecaps are winning too?
I'm not a big soccer fan, but I hear Whitecaps games are amazing to go to.
50,000 people at BC Place.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. I just miss the Grizzlies a lot. I miss the Sonics a lot.
Me too.
I think I could go on a like depression kick there for a bit, but
yeah. Let's get a team back.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks so much, guys. Appreciate you. Big fan. And we all want the Canucks to win. I'm going to be doing this series, Canucks Trade Talk, throughout the summer, throughout the year. And I think it's just good to have conversations about that. Plus, people want to talk about trades. It's just what we're built that way as hockey fans. We love trade deadline day, but let's talk about trade deadline day all year and just make deals. Because we can play GM. I'm the be the GM mode right now.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Thanks everyone for coming. And we'll talk soon. I've got a video, a jersey unveiling video coming up. It's scheduled. It's coming up this weekend. I'm doing a video on offer sheets and compensation. It's about some potential guys we could go after.
Yeah.
And there's all kinds of content coming up. So make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Of course, hit the like and subscribe to Canucks Uncensored. And of course, always, we're just going to say, go Canucks, go.
Go Canucks, go.